What's up, everybody? It's Harold with Nurse Angie Reviews and Adventures, and we're talking about watches today. In fact, let's talk about this guy. Oh yeah, you already know, don't you? Already know. I guess back in the mid-'80s or so, super popular, Eagle 7 Citizen Automatic, day date. The seller had put a new strap on it, cleaned up, refurbished the movement, and put a new lens on that bad boy. It's so tiny too, right? So let's compare this thing to a G-Shock. Don't. Right? Or I think this Timex is a 40-ish. Yeah, so it's awesome little watch. So I love that little guy. I really do. But what we wanted to talk about today, we're just going to monkey around with some of the watches while we're talking, is the idea is, you know, there's a lot of, look at this Casio right here. Oh my God, look at the dial on this. It's just ridiculous. A little over $100 brand new, and that's yours. There's a lot of watch review pages out there, a lot of good ones. Nico, Watchfinder, there's some killer ones. Brittany, Watch Gringa, you know. There's a lot of good watch reviewers out there. And the one thing they all have in common is they're way the hell above my price range. You know, I have a professional job. My wife has a professional job. But look, I'm not going over a few $100. It's just not going to happen. In fact, probably one of the more expensive ones I have is right here that I bought for myself. 50th birthday, Citizen Nighthawk, blacked out. So to me, that's the upper echelon for me. But what I don't see a lot of out there is a lot of watches that are cheaper. A lot of cheaper watch reviews. I mean, when I talk cheap, we're not talking $400 or $500. We're talking $20, $30, $40. You don't see those. And I don't quite get why that is. I mean, I do, but I don't. You already know what this bad boy is, don't you? I'm telling you, this thing is freaking nuts right here. God, I love this. I'm considering putting a metal band on that. Thinking about it. Seriously thinking about it. This thing would change the whole watch with a metal band. Maybe the rice, I don't know. Not an oyster type, but more of the rice beads kind of band. I don't know. We'll see. But we're thinking of doing something along the lines of that. You know, try budget watches, right? And I'm not going to wow you with cinematography. And I'm just going to pick a watch, get the thing. We'll talk about it. Is it good? Does it suck? Is it great? You know, what's the deal with it? And that's kind of where we're going to go with that. I think moving forward, I think it'll be a good move. And drop your opinions down below. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Not going to lie, that's a good looking watch. The only issue with it is the ooh. Yeah, she's talking. Yeah, she's talking. Oh man, we flatlined there for a second. You know, like I said, there's a lot of watch channels out there, but a lot of them don't really go into cheaper watches. They don't really, you know, go into, oh, here's a good example. I mean, some of them touch on this Timex Expedition, which is a hell of a watch for the money. But what about all the other watches? What about the little Casios, the Armatrons, which I'm not a fan of, and I will review those just because I think it's worth talking about. I think it's worth mentioning the good, bad, and the ugly on those as well. I ain't gonna lie, that's a pretty blue bow. That's a nice watch. I love this watch. It's one of my favorite dressy at work watches, you know. Just bling. It just speaks like it wants to be in a suit. Wear a suit with it. But yeah, that's kind of where we're going. Nurse Angie is going to keep doing what she does, do her thing with her, her cemeteries and her other reviews, and I may be throwing some metal detecting, treasure hunting videos in there. We're going to kind of spice the channel up a little bit. Definitely saw some interest. Like I said, I used to have a channel near 1,000 subs. It was growing. I just got too busy to mess with it. And life happens, right? Life has a way of happening. So, life happens. So I could study the analytics, and the one thing I noticed is once I started putting some watches on there, it took off. It took off. And if you downvoted it, and that's actually a damn good thing to do. That helps. It's an interaction with the video, right? So all interactions are appreciated. Let's see if we can keep him asleep here. Yep, we did. But that is kind of what the thought process is and where we may go with this thing. I think there's a bit of a market there for reviews like that. I think we could pull it off. Again, and I think, we talk about horology and watches. I mean, do all watches matter? Okay, do I have to do an AWM shirt, all watches matter? Is it just about 500,000 to 1,000 to 1,000 to 10,000 or a Reacher Millet or a Patek? Come on, they're still a watch. It does the same damn thing. You put it on your wrist and you go, wow, would you look at the time? Would you just look at the time? You do the same thing with it. Whether it costs $10 or $10,000 is irrelevant. It does the same thing. So I think those cheap watches have a place. And I'm going to review them. I think it'd be a fair shake and kind of give them a good looking at. What do you think of that Waterbury? This was in the rose gold. I actually have a story behind this watch. Speaking of cheap watches versus expensive ones, can you guys guess who I bought this watch from? Dun, 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 dun. Now, to give you a tip, he's Ukrainian. His parents are Russian. And I bought it from Luxury Bazaar by Roman Sharf's company, Luxury Bazaar. Went on their website. Of course, I'm looking at these expensive watches I cannot buy. And sure enough, guess what he has on there? Inexpensive watches. And I found this Waterbury Chrono in rose gold, which I have not seen this watch anywhere else. I've seen this watch, but not in rose gold. God, it's a looker too. It is a good looking watch. It really is. It is a handsome watch. And that rose gold pop's got a compliment on it already. So yeah, so it just comes to show you, even the heavy hitters like Luxury Bazaar, they kind of get it too. Hey, this was on their web. They got watches like for $15-20 on there, right next to a $500,000 watch, right? So there is a home for these. There is a home for inexpensive watches, and I just think it's been kind of ignored. I think it's an unfortunate reality. Now this watch, I think I had this in a previous review. God, I love this damn watch. I just do. I love it. Love it. What have I not looked at? I think I've looked at everything. So yeah, that's kind of the plan moving forward. We're going to definitely start reviewing cheap watches. And look, I'm going to be buying them. So why? Well, here's the thing. I could flip a cheap watch pretty quick. I may take a few dollar loss on it, but at the same time, I don't mind it. It's fun. It's not like I'm flipping a Rolex. Right? It's not like I've got 30 grand or 10 grand or $4,000 in on the thing. I might have $10 in on it, and there you have it, right? So that's kind of where I'm coming from. You know what? Look at that deal. Would you just look at that? Yeah, boy. That's a real deal right there. Casio, the true Casio, in my opinion. They always say these 2100s were like the Casio. I don't know, man. I don't know. Which one's the Casio? They both hit like trucks, right? Especially that damn G-Shock. I need more G-Shocks. I think I need more G-Shocks. But Anyway, folks, that's about it for us. So be looking for a metric crap ton of these reviews. And look, it's not like I'm going to go all cinematography and go crazy on it. If the demand's there, I could expand it, make it better. But if you want to see those videos, just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Do 2 jumping jacks, do 7 push-ups, hold your tongue to the left, and click those buttons. We'll see you soon.